I am a little bit saddened that Mongols got banned, but other than that, a pretty good draft. And so yeah,
It's
without further ado, I would say we just jump right into it and see what those two players are cooking for us.
Mongols got banned because the monastic shrines got moved to Castle Age. I know it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it. That was the key for Mongols.
that was yeah. Like without all irony here, I do like that change. I think it's very good. I also like that the torches and the signal arrow and all that, they got a little bit, or the the bounty a little bit discount. So some nice Mongol buffs, and maybe we'll see them sometime later today. But for now, KnockKnock playing the Ottomans in blue, going for stone immediately. So we're gonna have some nice military school opener here against Downfall with Juicy's Legacy. Juicy's Legacy back on the table, probably because Pro Scout Matter is not as prevalent anymore. It's still there, and you still see it occasionally, but it's not as like the you have to go for it, otherwise you will lose the game. Um, and the map is Carmel, so I don't like the funny thing is I look at the map, I'm like I don't even know what to say. It looks so chaotic. Like there's no real structure to it in a way. I don't
So
know.
the point is openness. The point is to kind of force players to make decisions about food.
Hmm.
Outside of the additional 3 deer that you start with, very close to your base that most players will push into their mill or push into their town center, all the rest of the food, very risky.
Hmm.
And it's high risk, high reward. And I like the Zushi pick here because I do feel that we could get pro scouts here. There's a lot of value to pro scouts just due to the sheer amount of deer. You don't even need to steal your opponent's deer. Just getting all your deer is enough to justify pro scouts. You've got 2 large packs of deer next to, well, in addition to 2 small packs of deer. So that's 6 extra deer on each side than you normally would have on other maps. So definitely worth the pro scouts here. You've also got double boar. There's 4 boars on this map in a 2v2.
Yeah, that is
So
pretty crazy the amount of Gaia food here on the map here with the deer in the top 16. Then there's a big pack here on the left next to the boar. And then yeah, 4 boar as you mentioned. So a lot of food definitely on the map, and I also do think that we will see pro scouts with sushi. As I said, it's not like that big thing anymore, but it's still valuable. Like I don't think it's been. I think the nerf has been well deserved, but I don't think it's a nerf where it's like, okay, now nobody's gonna do it anymore outside of Delhi. And so I do think that this is on the cards. Meditation gardens. Okay, well, I mean, getting gold, getting stone, getting berries, a little bit of wood. That's a good. Wow, that's a surprisingly good meditation gardens.
and he's going to need a good meditation gardens because one of the other
Hmm.
things that's fairly unique to this map on the ladder is the starting gold vein. And when I look at the spawn, Downfall didn't really get a good spawn here because he starts with 1600 gold.
Hmm.
His next 1600 gold is actually forward. Whereas KnockKnock, he has a back 1600 gold spawn, then his secondary gold is also back. So
Yeah.
Downfall is going to need to take control of this middle here because that's where all the gold is. All the other golds aside from his starting 1600, which again is forward, is very contestable, very risky. So he's going to have to decide his unit comp may be based upon how much gold he gets access to, just due to how the spawn worked out.
Yeah, and I think there's actually a surprisingly low amount of gold on this map overall. Um, with only with the new patch, there's been the small gold veins with only 1600 gold, and it's only those except for this one 8000 gold vein in the middle. And so really needs to, yeah, as I said, take map control and make sure that he gets to that gold as more or less as soon as possible. And so the meditation garden's definitely a Good for him that he got a good spawn for that here. Also secure in his base, so that should help him. Um, yeah, make sure that he reaches castle age without dying before that. We don't have pro scouts right now, but I mean, yeah, as I'm saying, he
After's
reached the
curse.
gold and immediately getting the pro scouts, building the stable right now. So definitely no, yeah, no change here. Still the pro scouts, and it totally makes sense. You free up a lot of resources once you secure all the deer, and that makes sure that you have resources for other stuff. For example, with a lot of military, that then will help you secure the map control.
That was very sharp of Downfall. He kind of came in. He saw that KnockKnock was pushing the deer in with the spearman. He killed one deer. That just makes that deer for 300 food just completely unusable. You're not going to put a mill to gather out that 350 deer, especially that far out.
Mm.
Very smart from Downfall. Um, Also, good on KnockKnock. He's trying to get as much deer pushed into his base as possible. And so now he's pushing in the other small little deer pack around his base. So doing a really, really, really good job here of trying to secure his food without pro scouts, using the free spearmen that he got from his military school.
Yeah, very good use of that, and he actually pushed one of the deer right underneath the town center. So, very diligent work here on his part, and just this one deer being left there alone. And I mean, I guess you could at some point like take one villager, put a mill here, and then just gather it because you're still getting a lot of value. It's a very fast resource, and so you might do that, or he might just leave it for Downfall to pick up later. Um, so, but yeah, good for Downfall here to make it a little bit harder for KnockKnock to get a ton of value here. And KnockKnock seems like
It's
to
a great
be
migration. It's a great migration. He's trying to migrate all of these deer up to his base using spearmen. This is just a enormous amount of APM, enormous amount of attention that you need to pay. This is a tedious task, ladies and gentlemen, and it's just one of the finer aspects of this game that really separates the top level players from the bottom level players. Right, is just their ability to do this while also macroing properly, scouting properly. This is just beautiful.
yeah, and I mean I just recently played on Enlightened Horizon on a multiplayer game, and I built with the Byzantines the Grand Winery next to the berries, and I pushed in the deer as well with my scout. And it actually is super annoying to do that and to keep track of still of all the other things on the in the map in the match. So definitely a very tedious job to do that. But if he is successful with that, it's gonna be a huge reward, and it also is a good way to secure to make sure that your opponent cannot freely pro scout this, because yeah, he probably most likely is aware of Downfall's pro scouts, and so that's also a good way to make sure that he doesn't get it uncontested. And we do actually see an early Palace Guard here as well as Shuganu, which should easily win against the Dark Age Spearman. So, but getting the Scout actually, okay, so that is a little bit of an oversight here for Downfall, losing the Scout really unnecessarily. Um, and with basically a minimal effort, so just the military schools providing some units, KnockKnock just reached the castle age and is now pumping out military, or military productions at least, for now.
Yeah, KnockKnock has a good opportunity here. He went up with the Imperial Armory. So first is a Mango. I suspect we're going to get some Springholds. Springholds seem to still be very valuable against this Palace Guard spam here. KnockKnock getting pushed back off these relics that he's going for. Downfall sort of reprioritizing defending the relics over preventing a deer push now that he killed enough of those spearmen here. And how does Downfall respond to this? He's going up to Castle Age himself. We do have KnockKnock's Knights already on the field, and they're going to make quick work of this Palace Guard and Chuganu composition that Downfall has sort of gone into, and Downfall is adding a couple spears in, but they are presently Dark Age.
Yeah.
But still good enough in proper quantities to take a knight down here.
Yeah,
And
so
Lancer is pushed away.
is countering them at least for now, so needs to be careful. KnockKnock did go up with the 2 imams, so he actually can heal them up fairly easily if he doesn't lose. Okay, never mind. If he doesn't lose them, that's the thing. Needs to be careful here. We're currently outnumbered. Needs to retreat for now. By the way, I love the new UI here with the with the vizier points. So that's some very nice addition to the observer UI. So finally we have some, what Kao has been working on for months. We now finally have it in the game. So Kao being ahead of his time as usual.
Yeah, in KnockKnock, despite the early castle age, doesn't quite have enough military to contest what Downfall has here. Downfall is kind of pulling back. 4 spears there should be more than enough to take this fight. Knights charge in, spears poke a little bit. Knights are coming back for a second pass here, charges connect. And again, there's just too many spears here for KnockKnock to really commit to this.
Yeah, I mean currently, like if you're only having lancers, it's not fun running into spearmen, even though they're still Dark Age. And in a sense, I'm not surprised that KnockKnock doesn't have a whole lot of military because he hadn't spent a lot of time investing it. I mean, basically he spent like the last two and a half minutes producing units, and so it's no wonder that he's only at a handful of knights. But he will get ahead fairly quickly. I mean, now Downfall has reached the castle age himself, so that will equalize. And so KnockKnock is looking for a raid here. Might find a Shaolin Monk, but it's kind of difficult to engage into them. They're very tanky, and so it's probably better to ignore them for now and only now attacking him.
Alright, we do have a nice little raid there. 1 Shaolin Monk going down, but he did carry the relic all the way to Downfall's base, so aside from losing the unit, the relic is going to get secured here. And Downfall just has way too much military for KnockKnock to really contest. Lancers coming onto the field for Downfall, and oh, these knights might get cornered here. Forced to turn around, spears are going to poke them, they're sandwiched against the wall. Couple Lancers go down, and that was not what KnockKnock needed. Downfall definitely smiling a little bit as he's able to pick off a couple of those very expensive Lancers.
Yeah, he just killed 3 Lancers there. That is very expensive loss. Another one going down. So KnockKnock basically losing more than half of his army here. And not really getting anything to show for it. I mean, yeah, he killed the Shaolin Monk, that's kind of nice, but as you mentioned, the relic was still secured, so in a sense, that's not the end of the world for Downfall. And KnockKnock, I think, currently is struggling a little bit to put out enough military compared to what Jussi can. I mean, if you're looking at the income, KnockKnock has a little bit more gold income, but food-wise, Downfall is outscaling him heavily, just because of the pro scouting going on here, meditation gardens, a little bit of a bonus here as well, and so yeah, I do think the second town center for KnockKnock is a good choice. The question is he actually got it? He just got scouted. Oh my god! Oh my!
Oh no! It's just charging in. It's gonna be a massacre.
No.
Town center needs to be cancelled. It's not going up there.
Yeah.
KnockKnock needs another plan, and maybe he'll save a couple of these villagers. His Lancers are charging around, trying to get damage on Downfall's Lancers. Able to save a couple of villagers here, but full commit by Downfall. He knows he's got a good window here. He knows KnockKnock doesn't have anything. Chuganu is picking off villagers left, right, and center, and KnockKnock is just scrambling to try to not lose this game here.
Wow, that was an incredible fight here for Downfall. Also pushing KnockKnock off gold here. Delaying the town center hasn't been cancelled yet, by the way. And so KnockKnock really struggling right now here. He needs to have a second town center in order to scale somewhat with the Ottomans. He's trying to push it out, but there's still units here. You can't just run arena around. He realizes that and is changing it, but still only has knights. There's no... He doesn't even have archery ranges, so he could change to military schools, to crossbows, or to archers if he wanted to. Currently sitting on Sipahi, which is of course one of the best deals that you can get from the military schools, but that's not gonna win you the fights with the spearmen being a hard counter against the cavalry here. Springles getting mowed down as well. But at least, okay, he is able to stabilize here a little bit. Has one Imam, so could heal up a little bit.
The damage was done though. Downfall, he's going to reconsolidate a little bit here, remass. But Downfall, he's primed and ready to go. If you look under his mill, he's got a lot of deer carcasses. He's got a lot of sheep carcasses. He doesn't need to farm transition. He has food for days. He is just pumping. Spear, crossbow, lancer, and scouts are coming over to steal all those deer away from where KnockKnock really wants his second town center here, and KnockKnock just doesn't have enough. Springles are nice, but he can't properly defend them.
No, you can't.
And Downfall dives on one.
This is really difficult to watch. And yeah, I mean, Downfall must be really happy right now. Second town center just been finished now. But in a sense, Downfall, just needs a little bit more stone, and he could just go for a second town center himself and know that he would still outscale Ottomans, no matter what happens. He's sitting on 4 relics, taking the second sacred site. There's only 2 on this map, and that is a very good position to be in. And as you mentioned, he doesn't need to do a farm transition anytime soon. He can put out the pressure, continue to do that, and KnockKnock cannot hold on any longer.
Yeah, that was just sick timings from Downfall right there. The pro scouts, the just massive amounts of deer he had. Mind you, that is also supervised deer, so there's a 20% drop off there. Downfall just had resources for days, and KnockKnock was struggling to get some of his military schools online, struggling to get that second town center when Downfall scouted that and was able to delay it, kill a couple of villagers, and force KnockKnock into bad fights. That kind of was the beginning of the end of KnockKnock there, and just, again, sick timings from Downfall to really scout that, find that, and punish it.